When I wiped the mirror, it exhaled. I moved into that apartment last winter. It wasn't special, just cheap, small, and quiet. Too quiet. It had that kind of silence that feels intentional, like the walls were holding their breath. The landlord mentioned something about the previous tenant leaving suddenly, but he didn't go into detail. I didn't ask. I just wanted a place to start over. The first night, I noticed the mirror in the bathroom. Old, rectangular, a thin crack along the bottom. And no matter how cold the apartment was, the glass was always warm. The morning after I moved in, I took a shower. Steam filled the room. The mirror fogged up like any other. But when I wiped it, the glass didn't clear. It exhaled. A wave of warm mist hit my hand. At first I thought it was a draft, maybe the vent. But there was no vent above the mirror, just smooth, cold concrete. I leaned closer, and for half a second I thought I saw someone else's breath forming inside the mirror, like a reflection that was half a second too slow. I laughed it off, told myself I was tired. But that night, when I brushed my teeth, there was a handprint on the mirror, on the inside. Over the next few days, I noticed small things. The reflection lagged, half a blink behind. When I leaned forward, it waited before copying me. And once, it smiled. I didn't. I tried to film it, but the footage always cut out. So I covered the mirror with a towel. That night I woke up to the sound of fabric sliding. The towel had fallen, and I swear the glass was breathing again. Slow, steady, like lungs filling up. I moved closer, whispering, "Who's there?" And then, the condensation on the glass began to form words. Faint, uneven, like written by a finger from the other side. "I remember you." The next day, I went to the landlord. He looked at me strangely when I mentioned the mirror. Then he said, "That apartment's been empty since the fire." I didn't understand. "There was a fire," he said, 10 years ago. A woman lived there alone. They never found her body. Only the mirror was intact." He laughed nervously and added, "You know how old buildings are. They remember things." That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about what the mirror said. "I remember you." I turned off all the lights and waited. At 3:11 a.m., the mirror started to fog up on its own. I sat up and whispered, "What do you want?" No answer, just breathing. Then, letters started forming again, slowly, painfully. "Let me out." I touched the glass. It was hot, burning hot, and under my fingertips I could feel pulses, like a heartbeat trapped inside. Then, the reflection blinked, but I didn't. She looked like me, but older, eyes sunken, skin gray, lips trembling. Her hand rose and matched mine perfectly against the glass. She, the reflection, stepped back from the glass, looked at me through the fog and whispered, "You shouldn't have wiped it." Now I stand here, watching her live in my apartment, watching her wear my clothes, answer my phone, sleep in my bed. Every night she comes back to the bathroom and stares at the mirror. She knows I'm still here, because sometimes she wipes the glass, and I exhale.
At 2:47 a.m., my phone rang. The caller ID said my own name. I didn't answer. Who would? The screen lit up. The name glowed. Ethan Cole. That's me. I thought it was a glitch, a contact sync issue. But when it rang again, and I heard my own voicemail play, the one I recorded 2 years ago, something inside me froze. Because I deleted that voicemail last summer. I pressed play, and what I heard wasn't a glitch. It was me. My voice, saying my own name, like a warning. Ethan, don't open the door. That night I was working late. I'm a night shift security guard at an office complex outside the city. No one comes in after midnight. Just me, the cameras, and the hum of the monitors. The building had 8 floors, empty hallways, old elevator that creaked even when it wasn't moving. Around 2:45 a.m., I went to pour myself another coffee. That's when my phone rang. The caller ID still said my name, but now there was no number, just blank space. I answered, whispering, "Hello?" There was breathing, slow, shaky. Then my voice, "Ethan, it's me. Listen carefully." The voice trembled, like someone talking through static. "You have 2 minutes. Don't open the door. Whatever you hear, don't." I started to laugh, until the security alarm buzzed. Someone had triggered the main door sensor. The feed on monitor 3 flickered. The front entrance camera showed a shadow, someone standing just outside the glass doors. I leaned closer. The figure moved, but the face was hidden by the reflection. The motion sensor read active. The building was locked. The phone rang again. Same caller, same name. I didn't answer. I watched as the figure lifted a hand and pressed it against the glass. Then, the lights on the first floor flickered off, all at once, and in the reflection of the monitor, I saw the man's face. It was mine. I froze. The phones in the lobby began to ring, all of them. I checked the system logs. No incoming calls, no active lines. Then I noticed something else. One of the screens, camera 2 outside the storage room, had a timestamp, but it wasn't current. It was marked 3:01 a.m., 14 minutes in the future. The feed showed me, walking toward the same door the call warned me about. I didn't remember doing that, because it hadn't happened yet. I tried to replay the recording, but the file wouldn't open. The computer screen glitched, showing fragments of text. "Do not open. Hear him first. Your voice is not your own." At exactly 3:01 a.m., my phone rang again. Same number, same voice. Only this time, he was crying. "Ethan, don't make me do it again." "Do what?" I whispered. Then a sound like metal scraping concrete. "He's here. You'll see him when the lights go out. Just don't open the door." I stood up, grabbed my flashlight, and looked at the live feed again. The future timestamp had caught up, and now the camera showed me, in real time, walking toward the door. Exactly like the recording. The lights flickered, and I heard it. A knock. 3 slow knocks. I whispered, "Who's there?" A voice replied from the other side. Calm. Familiar. "It's me." I reached for the handle, and the phone buzzed again. It slid off the desk, landing on speaker mode. "Ethan, listen. That's not you on the other side. Don't. The line cut out. The lights died, and the emergency generator kicked in, bathing the hall in red. The door creaked open on its own, just a few inches. I raised my flashlight. There was someone standing there, face half lit, pale, bleeding from the mouth. It was me, but older, bruised, terrified. He whispered, "You didn't listen last time." He reached out his hand and grabbed mine. Instantly, I felt everything. Burning, screaming, collapsing. He fell backward, pulling me through the doorway. The world inverted, colors drained, sound warped, and I was standing in the security room again. Phone ringing. 2:47 a.m. I looked at the screen. The same call, same name, same warning. "Ethan, don't open the door." I looked toward the hallway. It was silent, but then the alarm buzzed. Sensor triggered. Someone was standing at the front door. And this time, I knew. It wasn't a glitch. It wasn't a dream. It was the next loop.
I work at the Meriton Hotel. Room 313 was supposed to be sealed. But last month, someone checked in. The Meriton Hotel sits on the edge of the city. Half luxury, half forgotten. I took the night audit job because I needed quiet. I thought silence would heal me after what happened last year. I was wrong. My name is Daniel Ward, and 3 weeks ago, I found a name written in the hotel's guest ledger. In blood. It was 2:14 a.m. Rain was beating against the lobby windows. The only sound was the old elevator groaning on its cables. Then the bell rang. Someone entered. A man in a black coat, soaked, silent. He didn't say his name. He just pushed forward an old key, not a key card, and said, "Room 313, I'm expected." My stomach dropped. Room 313 had been sealed since 1999, after the incident. I told him, "Sir, that room is closed for renovation." He smiled, thin, tired, and whispered, "You said that last time, too." He slid a folded note across the counter. Inside, my name, Daniel Ward. Below it, the words, "You'll remember when the lights go out." When he left, I checked the registry. No entry for 313. No booking, no payment. But when I opened the old leather ledger kept behind the desk, there it was, written in a shaky hand under today's date. Room 313, Mr. D. Ward. I froze. That was my name. I called maintenance. No answer. Security? Dead line. When I turned back, the page was wet. Red droplets spreading across the ink. Blood. The lights flickered, then the phone rang. "Front desk, Meriton Hotel," I said. A voice answered. My own voice. "Daniel. He's checking in again." "Hi, Frelay. We've got 2 docs." I grabbed a flashlight and took the service stairs. Every step creaked like the building was holding its breath. When I reached the 3rd floor, the hallway was dark, but at the far end, a door was open. Room 313. Inside, everything was covered in white sheets. Furniture, mirror, bed, all draped like bodies at a morgue. And on the nightstand, the same ledger I had downstairs. Only this one was open to a different page. The date, March 12th, 1999. The name, Daniel Ward. Next to it, in smaller writing, Murdered by guest. I turned around. The man in the black coat was standing by the doorway. He smiled and said, "You never did check out, Daniel." I backed away. "You're not real," I whispered. He tilted his head. "Neither are you." He reached into his coat and dropped something onto the floor. An old hotel key with my fingerprints on it. The brass tag read 313. Then he pulled back his sleeve, blood up to his wrist. "You left me here," he said. "You closed the door and walked away." Memories hit me like static. A woman screaming, fire alarms, a body on the bed, my own hands covered in blood. I wasn't the clerk. I was the guest. The one who murdered her. The man stepped closer, and now I saw his face clearly. It was me. He grabbed my shoulders. "You come back every night, Daniel. You check in, you kill her, and you forget." I tried to run, but the hallway twisted, stretching like a tunnel. Every door read the same number, 313. I heard her voice now, faint, pleading, "Please, don't do this again." When I reached the end of the hall, a mirror stood in place of the exit. In the reflection, I was still holding the bloody ledger, my name burning red across the page. Then the phone rang again, inside the mirror. I picked it up. "Front desk, Meriton Hotel," I said. "How can I help you?" A voice answered. Mine. "I'd like to book room 313, please."
A hollow frequency original. Fear has a frequency. You're tuned in.